Ha! Or technically it's like this now, right? Because that's what we do apparently. Now, but for real, all jokes aside, this is gonna be my Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever spoiler and review reaction video, whatever. For those of you who have seen it, please let's be respectful in the comment section if we talk about the movie to those who have not seen it. For those of you who have not seen it yet, please, you've been warned that this video is spoiler heavy, so no negative comments about like, yo, spoilers, whatever. Like, you've been warned, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, let's hop right into it. So yeah, the mother dies. The Queen Rwanda, she dies and passes away, unfortunately, at the hands of Namor, in terms of like, you know, he throws water grenades at her, she dies, and then that also fuels Shuri's anger in the film. So Shuri is very angry in the film, and it drives her to like really do everything it takes to seek revenge. And so that's basically the plot of the movie, as well as her becoming the new Black Panther. So yes, Shuri does become the new Black Panther the same way that she does in the comic books. Now, there are some people who didn't really feel that she was actually ready or that much of a fleshed out character in the MCU to really be the Black Panther or take on the mantle of the Black Panther, but I really see what they were trying to do with what they had. They really utilized every piece of the puzzle they had to make a solid movie. And in my opinion, Shuri does a good job in terms of her becoming the Black Panther. Like, was it too soon? Sort of. Does she look good in the suit? Yes. Does she like really like whoop some butt and throw down? Yes. But I understand what they were trying to do. I really like her character. You really see her growing as an individual and as a young adult throughout the movie, who has now the responsibility of having to be royalty and lead an entire nation on her own, you know? So it is a little interesting. But she does do a good job. Killmonger does return in the ancestral plane to help Shuri. Or he's not really there to help her as much as why he's there in the first place. So I was a little bit confused because in my other two videos about, you know, the Black Panther, I really speculated that like it should be Shuri's dad who sees her because, you know, that's her father. We never saw any interaction with them, and she never really mourned his loss as well. But it was Killmonger who shows up because he's like, oh, you chose me to come see you. And she's like, what are you talking about? So basically, before we get to that, yeah, she is able to recreate the herb using a gift that Namor gave her earlier in the film, combined with vibranium technology. She recreates the herb, she takes it, she gets power, she goes to the ancestral plane, and then there's Killmonger. But yeah, so the reason Killmonger shows up is because it's like the herb shows you what's in your heart. And so that's why Killmonger is there, because essentially Killmonger and Shuri have a similar heart of wanting revenge and then having all this like wanting this power and also kind of wanting to hurt somebody for what the world has taken away from them. You know, Killmonger had his family taken away from him, and then Shuri lost everybody, so it makes sense why he appears. So I think Ryan Coogler as a director did a great job in telling the reasoning as to why this happened, while also telling you why no one else showed up. But that scene is very purposeful, and it does drive the movie forward, and he looks good. And you know, I'm kind of happy they didn't bring him back to life to become the new Black Panther. It just wouldn't make sense, because then it kind of makes the Marvel deaths almost meaningless if people can just, you know, come back to life out of wherever, you know, like in Thor Love and Thunder, how basically they're not really dead, they're in a heavenly dimension, you know, so like whatever. But in this part of the movie, it worked out. Riri Williams' character is actually pretty cool in my opinion. She did have a lot of attitude, and it was pretty fun to see her interact with everybody else. But I understand, like, she's kind of like a fish out of water, because yes, she's just a young girl who goes to college, and she's dealing with all this mystical stuff in Telokan and then in Wakanda, and she's almost like stuck in the middle of all of it. So it makes sense for her character to feel a little bit like sassy but out of place, because hey, she just wants to get home and finish her stuff, and meanwhile she has to help fight this battle, which she does not mind doing. But I can understand why she was the way she was, I guess, or why she acted a certain way, you know? Lupita Nyong'o's character, you know, she did a great job, and I think it was awesome for her to be there. Lupita does speak Spanish in the movie, and let me tell you, oof, girl, calm down. I'm gonna need some prayer. Oh my Lord, have mercy. No, but for real, all jokes aside, she did a great job. Black Panther's son does get revealed at the end of the movie. The son is like about, yeah, 5 or 6 years old, which is basically when this movie takes place. About maybe a year after the blip, so there was the 5 years, the 1 year, around there. Namor's character, portrayed by Tenoch Huerta, or just Tenoch. I'm just gonna call him Tenoch because I can't pronounce his name, even though I speak the language. I think he did an amazing job as Namor. I was so proud of him, and so awesome to see kind of like, I hate to say it, well, not, I don't hate to say it, but I love to say it, but like a Latino being represented more accurately to the Mesoamerican and indigenous lifestyle of being a hero, and the language and the culture, and not really our struggles as Latinos or our history, but really just more or less how we kind of process things. And so I really felt that Tenoch's character, Namor, was very abundant in terms of his powers, but he did feel a little bit misguided, which was kind of what the actor even said in one of the interviews. But I get it. It all makes sense as you watch the movie what really goes down. But he did an amazing job. I definitely want to see him come back in future movies. Ryan Coogler did say Namor is just as strong as Thor, so that's pretty powerful in terms of like a power scaling. But he was getting kind of beat up, or the fight was almost even between him and Shuri as the Black Panther. You know, like she has no experience as the Black Panther, and she just has these powers as well as this suit. Namor has been around for thousands of years, and they're almost like going head to toe, you know what I'm saying? So it was interesting to see that, but either way, the fight scene was great. The story was good. I like the story. I know some people who really felt that they were kind of bored throughout the movie, or kind of maybe weren't that excited because there was too much, I guess, dialogue, not enough like things that were driving it forward. But I really did enjoy the movie. I liked it. Like it is a 2.5 hour movie, but to me, it didn't feel that way because the story to me was just so captivating, and it was like a good story. It really felt like a family drama between two different people that just so happen to have superpowers. It was not as mystically driven as, like, you know, let's say Shang-Chi was, that yes, there was family issues, but there was also a lot of mysticism involved. And it also wasn't as like family oriented but happy-go-lucky like maybe Thor Love and Thunder was, you know. This to me stood out on its own, but it did make sense as the movie was driving forward. So for me, I really do rank this movie in my top 10 MCU favorite films. I don't know if it's my top 5, but I think it's probably pretty close. I don't think I even have a top 5, honestly, because Endgame, No Way Home, and Infinity War are like just legit so good. And there is a post-credit scene, but it's just the Black Panther's son. You know, like I said earlier, it was pretty much just that scene real quick. There is no end credit scene at the very end. There's like nothing there. It just goes straight to black, whatever. But I'm not trying to make this video too long. If you want to talk more about it, like I said, we can talk about it in the comment section with respect to those who haven't seen it. If you have not seen it and you do go to the comment section and we do spoil stuff for you, I'm sorry, but like, you've been warned. And if you have seen the movie, let me know what you thought. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did it fill your expectations? Were you bored? Were you excited? You know, things like that. Just let me know. Let's talk about it. Other than that, you guys, stay blessed. Wakanda forever. And then what's the other one that I just know that I don't know what they say. I just know they do like the Kamehameha thing. So Latinos were about that life now. Let's just own it, I guess. But yeah, other than that, peace out.